Hello and a very warm welcome to Rajya Sabha television. This is Science Monitor, your weekly update on what's happening in the field of science, technology, research and innovation. I'm Frank Razam Pereira. From the preparations of IISF 2020 to the science tour of ISR Gandhinagar, we have plenty in store for you. But first, the headlines. Preparations for the 6th India International Science Festival on in full swing. Several curtain raiser events being organized throughout the country to popularize the festival. National Pollution Control Day observed on the 2nd of December. The day commemorates the victims of the Bhopal gas tragedy and raises awareness about the disastrous consequences of environmental pollution. Hourglass-shaped lattice metastructures developed to control sound wave propagation. The innovation by Indian scientists can have wide applications in stealth technology, high-speed trains and health. And in Science Tour, we'll visit the Institute of Seismological Research in Gandhinagar, which is pursuing all kinds of research to minimize the damage caused by earthquakes. The 6th India International Science Festival is just around the corner and preparations for the festival are on in full swing. This program, being coordinated by the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, Government of India, is soon going to be the largest online science festival in the world. In this series, various institutes are organizing curtain raiser events across the country to popularize different programs of science among the masses. Here is our special report on the preparation of IISF 2020.
The India International Science Festival is a unique platform to explore different facets of science. The mega festival displays the achievements of Indian scientists in an engaging way and motivates the young minds to pursue science. Preparations are in full swing to make the 6th edition of the festival a roaring success in the virtual format. Different institutes under CSIR are conducting online curtain raiser ceremonies to attract more and more participation in the Mega Conference of Science, which will be organized from the 22nd to the 25th of December. Recently, Jorhat-based CSIR's Northeast Institute of Science and Technology, or NEAST, organized a curtain raiser program of IISF 2020. The online program was conducted by Dr. G. Narhari Sastry, Director of CSIR NEAST, and Director General of CSIR, Dr. Shekhar C. Mande, also attended the event along with other participants. The program discussed the incorporation of technologies developed by NEAST into IISF 2020 programs. The demonstration of these technologies during the IISF 2020 will make people aware of the developments in the Northeast. Council of Scientific and Industrial Research is coordinating IISF 2020, so all the institutes of CSIR are partners in the event. Various institutes and labs of CSIR have organized curtain raiser ceremonies to attract and engage more and more people and to increase its visibility. Other institutes under the concerned ministries like India Meteorological Department are also cooperating in this endeavor.
2020 is a pandemic year. We are all striving hard to overcome it. I am sure we will overcome it very soon. Our scientists are working hard day in and day out. IISF 2020, being organized in virtual platform, will help in connecting to the science-loving people from the remotest corner of the country in a single click, thereby increasing the digital footprint.
CSIR's Advanced Materials and Processes Research Institute, Bhopal, plans to organize an exhibition of traditional artisans and craftsmen in the Mega Festival of Science. This information was provided at the curtain raiser ceremony organized by CSIR AMPRI. On the other hand, CSIR's Central Mechanical Engineering Research Institute organized a series of pre-event activities covering diverse topics ranging from urban solid waste, air and water purification, solar energy technology, smart grids, mini grids, agromechanics, amphibian robots, etc. Jayant Sahasrabuddhe, National Organizing Secretary, Vigyan Bharati, also attended the event as the chief guest. This year, the festival will begin on the birth anniversary of world-renowned Indian mathematician Srinivasa Ramanujan and conclude on the birth anniversary of the late Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. The online festival will provide to all an excellent opportunity to participate in the mega event and celebrate the advancements of science and technology in true sense.
National Pollution Control Day is observed every year on the 2nd of December in memory of the people who lost their lives due to the Bhopal gas tragedy. It is a day to instill awareness among people about environmental pollution and its disastrous consequences. Today, this program has also become a platform for the assessment of guidelines related to pollution. Here's our report on the significance of National Pollution Control Day.
The ruins of the Union Carbide chemical plant in Bhopal are a testimony to the biggest industrial disaster in India. On the intervening night of December 2nd and 3rd, the accidental leak of poisonous methyl isocyanate gas from the same plant took away the lives of thousands within a few hours. Even today, the effect of this disaster resonates in the air of Bhopal. Taking lessons from this incident, December the 2nd was marked as the National Pollution Control Day. The day has become even more relevant today due to the ever-increasing pollution in the country. It aims to create awareness about the pollution of water, air, soil and environment in general, besides creating awareness about the industrial disasters.
We have recognized air pollution as a major problem. And when I say problem, it's not just a health problem, but it's actually today, as per the studies, this is the biggest environmental health risk in India. And that's why I think it's very, very important that we are recognizing it.
The problem of air pollution and water pollution have worsened in the past few years. In cities like Delhi, the smog appears as soon as the winters start and affects routine activities in many ways. The combined effect of industrial emissions, vehicular pollution and stubble burning transform the cities into a gas chamber. Urban waste and industrial effluents are also affecting precious water resources. As a result, the graph of diseases like heart disease, diabetes, lung cancer is rising consistently. According to the State of Global Air 2020 report, in the year 2019, there have been more than 1.5 million annual deaths in India due to such diseases across every age group. The COVID-19 pandemic has also highlighted the urgency to address the chronic problem of air pollution, as the severity of the air pollution is also a reason behind the recent rise in the COVID-19 cases in cities like Delhi.
There is significant impact both on mortality and morbidity, and particularly several diseases are linked to air pollution. For example, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, lung cancer, stroke, ischemic heart disease, then you have diabetes mellitus and lower respiratory infections and all. And that's why I think we need to really be serious and take urgent actions to reduce air pollutions to protect only our health. And just to summarize, that means that we need to consider air pollution as a health problem.
Many acts and rules are in place to control pollution at different levels, and many programs are also being run under the Central Pollution Control Board. But the effective implementation of these acts and rules calls for public participation. People have to be aware of the impacts of the pollution. They need to understand the importance of pollution control guidelines and laws so that a tragedy like Bhopal does not reoccur. National Pollution Control Day reminds us of our environment and the need to keep it clean for our future generations.
Well, according to the religious beliefs of Hindus, the very first sound in the universe was produced by the Damru of Lord Shiva. Now, inspired by the shape of the Damru of Lord Shiva, scientists at IIT Kanpur have developed a new hourglass-shaped metastructure that can be used in the lattice unit for controlling sound wave propagation. Here's more about this innovation and its applications.
Researchers at IIT Kanpur have developed an hourglass-shaped lattice metastructure inspired by the Damru to control the propagation of sound waves. Professor Bishak Bhattacharya from the Institute's Department of Mechanical Engineering and his PhD student Vivek Gupta have collaborated with Professor Sondipan Adhikari of Swansea University, UK, to develop this lattice structure. The microstructured hourglass-shaped metastructures have been developed in the Smart Materials Laboratory of IIT Kanpur using additive manufacturing. These structures were found to absorb and control different frequencies of sound waves during lab testing.
If you look at this structure, this is an hourglass structure, we call it. It has a very close similarity with the Damru. But what is unique in this particular case is that the entire structure is actually microstructured inside. And if you look at this microstructure in a bigger scale, what you would find is that it is going to have some such structures which are like honeycomb structures. We had prepared this as the lattices. So you can imagine that in a real life system, once we scale it down to a very, very small scale, these situations will be something like this. That is, there will be many units of these types of systems which will be there, and it will work like a waveguide such that we can control the transmission of waves at our will through them.
These structures can have applications in defense sector like in developing stealth helicopters and submarines to go undetected by radars. This technique can also be used to control the vibrations generated by high-speed vehicles like bullet trains, future hyperloops, etc., as vibrations generated by vehicles are known to damage the constructions. This technology can protect structures like bridges and buildings built along the tracks of high-speed vehicles by controlling the frequencies. Apart from this system can also be effective in detecting the smallest tumor present in the body.
What we believe is that in tomorrow we will be having a technology so that even a small tumor happening any part inside the body which is currently not visible through the ultrasonic imaging technique, we will be able to visualize those smallest things with the help of this type of a system in a very small micro scale, which will work like it will take those signals and it will propagate it to the imaging system.
This work of IIT Kanpur is sponsored by a Spark project of the Ministry of Education, Government of India, and has been published recently in the journal Scientific Reports. This multifaceted innovation of Indian researchers will help in developing state-of-the-art technology for different sectors to strengthen the Make in India initiative.
With the devastation caused by the 2001 Bhuj earthquake, an acute need was felt for dedicated seismological research in the state of Gujarat to enable the sustained accelerated development that was envisaged across the state. As a result, the Institute of Seismological Research was established by the Gujarat government as a center of excellence in modern seismological research. Today, we'll visit this institute to see how it is pursuing dedicated research in the field of seismology to minimize damage due to earthquakes.
Institute of Seismological Research, situated in Gandhinagar, Gujarat, is a premier research center dedicated exclusively to earthquake studies. Run under the Department of Science and Technology, Government of Gujarat, the institute is equipped with all the facilities under one roof to carry out extensive studies and research related to seismology and earthquakes. After the devastating 2001 earthquake in Bhuj, the establishment of the institute was approved by the state government in 2003. An ISR was established in 2006 as a center of excellence in modern seismological research. Since its inception, the institute has made unprecedented progress in its facilities to conduct R&D in near real-time seismology, seismic hazard assessment and microzonation, solid earth geophysics, earthquake precursory research, active tectonics, and commercial research and development. The Seismic Data Analysis Center of the Institute monitors the geological activity in the state round the clock through a dense network of broadband seismographs and motion accelerographs, and earthquake information is sent immediately to the concerned agencies as well as the general public. This data is also used for different studies.
ये एक्चुअली हमारे पास एक ऑटोमेटिक लोकेशन सॉफ्टवेयर है जिसमें लगभग 200 सिस्मिक स्टेशन जो ग्लोबल में फ्रीली अवेलेबल डाटा है वो डाटा हमारे पास यहाँ आता है, उसका और हमारे यहाँ जो हमारे अपने स्टेशन है उन सब का डाटा मिला के इसका ऑटोमेटिक एनालिसिस होता है और ऑटोमेटिक हमारा जो सॉफ्टवेयर है वो सॉफ्टवेयर अर्थक्वेक की लोकेशन और मैग्नीट्यूड के बारे में बता देता है। ये सब कार्य 2 से 3 मिनट में हो जाता है, लेकिन ये सब ऑटोमेटिक है, इसमें कई बार त्रुटि होने की संभावना रहती है। तो इस इन्फॉर्मेशन को बाद में हमारे यहाँ एक सिस्मोलॉजिस्ट जो रहते हैं, जो ड्यूटी पे रहते हैं, वो उसका दोबारा से री एनालिसिस करते हैं।
Gujarat is considered a highly sensitive region in terms of seismicity. Scientists and researchers at ISR's Geotechnical Laboratory test the soil and rock samples of areas like Bhuj and study the changes in structures caused by earthquakes and establish other causes of structural damage. State-of-the-art equipment is available for these studies. The Geophysical Laboratory of the Institute has a number of field surveying systems to conduct microzonation and other soil tests. These include techniques such as Masva testing, micro-tremor survey, magno-electric surveys, etc. These tests play a crucial role in the construction of high-rise buildings and critical structures. Site-specific seismic hazard studies for the 182-meter Sardar Patel statue in Gujarat, the tallest statue in Asia, were also conducted by the Institute. The Institute is providing seismic hazard assessment and microzonation services to private organizations on a commercial basis.
Institute of Seismological Research has different groups, but one of that is Commercial Research and Development Group, where we are providing a solution to real problems like seismic hazard assessment or seismic resistant parameters for spatial buildings. Then we have now started doing work on commercial basis also. We are in this particular part, geophysical, geological, geotechnical and seismological, all four part we are studying under one roof.
Along with the geophysical and geotechnical studies, geochemical studies are also important to understand the phenomenon of earthquakes. Under geochemical studies, the Institute's X-ray fluorescence laboratory pursues research related to paleoseismology, paleo-tsunami, climate change and seawater level, which are helpful in determining the future hazards.
In geology, when you want to work on earthquakes, when you want to see past signatures of earthquakes, you see similar signatures laid down by a tsunami, laid down by a sea level signature, a sea level event, or even laid down by an earthquake event. So when you want to understand an earthquake as a process, you need to also understand what are the signatures that you need to look for in field. So for that, our wing mostly works on the paleo, tsunami and sea level research, climate change research of ISR or of the Gujarat region.
The ISR Gandhinagar also has an optically stimulated luminescence laboratory for determining the age of the geological sediments and to know about the process behind their formation.
इसमें हम जो है सेडिमेंट्स की उम्र का पता करते हैं, सेडिमेंट्स कब डिपॉजिट हुआ या कब वो किस कंडीशन में आकर के डिपॉजिट हुआ, उस क्लाइमेटिक कंडीशन में उसका हम लोग पता करते हैं। सूरज की जो लाइट होती है, फोटॉन्स होते हैं, वो किसी भी क्रिस्टल के अंदर जाते हैं, क्रिस्टल को चार्ज करते हैं, उसको हम लोग एस्टिमेट करते हैं, उस फोटॉन्स को बाद में रीजनरेट करते हैं, थर्मली ऑप्टिकली रीजनरेट करके उसको वापस निकालते हैं, तो हमको पता चलता है लास्ट सन एक्सपोजर टाइम।
Since its inception, the Institute of Seismological Research, ISR, has been developing new knowledge-based techniques to reduce earthquake losses. Now, ISR Gandhinagar is working on an advanced early warning system by developing an artificial intelligence algorithm to excel in this field and serve the nation.
Now, let's have a look at some other developments that have made news in the field of science and technology in our segment Science Express.
On December 2nd, Infosys Science Foundation announced the winners of the Infosys Prize for the year 2020. Recognizing their outstanding contribution to science and research, winners were awarded under 6 categories during a virtual function. The winners are: in the field of engineering and computer science, Professor Hari Balakrishnan from Massachusetts Institute of Technology. In the field of humanities, Dr. Prachi Deshpande from the Center for Studies in Social Sciences, Kolkata. Under the category of life sciences, Dr. Rajan Shankaranarayanan from the Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology, Hyderabad. Under the category of mathematical sciences, Professor Saurav Chatterjee from the Stanford University. In the field of physical sciences, Professor Arindam Ghosh from the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. And in the field of social sciences, Professor Raj Chetty from the Harvard University. The prize for each category includes a pure gold medal, a citation, and prize money of $100,000. The curtain raiser program of the 26th DST-CII Technology Summit 2020 was organized recently on a virtual platform in which Portugal is the partner country this year. Officials of the Department of Science and Technology, Confederation of Indian Industry, and the equivalent departments of Portugal participated in this online event. There has been a long association between India and Portugal, and during the last 4 years, 20 new agreements have been signed in marine research, robotics, waterway management, clean tech, and many other fields. This time, 450 proposals have been received under the recently announced India-Portugal Joint Call. Both the countries have planned to structure their cooperation in the sectors such as water, healthcare, agriculture, IT, ICT, clean technology, etc. This summit will establish a bilateral research network, increase cooperation in research, and promote the exchange of ideas between scientific and industrial community of both the nations. The dry swab direct RT-PCR method developed by CSIR's Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology for COVID-19 testing has been approved by the Indian Council of Medical Research. This method of CCMB is a simple version of the existing RT-PCR method that can easily double or triple the testing capacity without any new investment. The Hyderabad-based laboratory of the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research has developed this test after understanding the problems faced by the health workers. The dry swab RT-PCR test does not need viral transport medium and RNA extraction process for detecting COVID-19, and RT-PCR test can be conducted directly with the samples. This is helpful in reducing the cost as well as the time of the testing by 40 to 50%. The United Nations has described the year 2020 as one of the 3 hottest years ever recorded. According to the State of Climate Report 2020, released by the United Nations World Meteorological Organization, the last 6 years, from 2015 to 2020, have been the hottest years since modern recording began in 1850. Of these, 2020 has been the second warmest year so far. In 2020, the average global temperature was 1.2 degrees above normal. According to experts, this increase can reach 1.5 degrees by the year 2024, giving rise to a climate tragedy. The rising temperature has increased the incidence of floods, cyclones, and wildfires, calling for a curb on the use of fossil fuels, as such incidents can reduce the food production drastically.
Well, that's all the time we have in this edition of Science Monitor, but we'd like to hear from you. So do send us your feedback and your suggestions. Our email ID is news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also write to us at our address, which is Vigyan Prasar, 5th floor, Prithvi Bhavan, Lodi Road, New Delhi, 110003. That's it from me. See you again next time.